Troops, welcome to the Action Elite. My name is Owen. So we got a full squad tonight, just only missing Stephen. So we got Sean. Hey Sean, good to see you again. So we got Charlie. We got Eugene. How are you? Been a while.
It has. Good to see you.
And we have John. Hello.
Hello.
And we also have J-Man, who is
back. Hey, how's it going?
Welcome.
He lives. Yes.
We're delighted to have you back on here. So how the hell are you?
I'm doing good. I'll be out of. I'm going to try to do a live stream this week or next week because I read these comics, so I didn't just read them just from my health. I read them to talk about them. So I'm going to do my Avengers stream probably maybe Monday if I can. But yeah, other than that, I'm hanging out, healing my bones. If anyone's going to break their back, this is the best version of breaking your back. Like if you have to pick, flip through the book catalog, I think I'll take this fracture. Yeah, that's a good one.
So for those who don't know, J-Man had a heart attack before Christmas. And then because he thought that wasn't a big enough challenge, he thought, you know what, I'm going to fall on my arse and break a few things. And that's what you did, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So internal bleeding.
Yeah. Don't forget the internal bleeding, everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, that caused. So yeah, so the heart attack, the internal bleeding, kidney stones, and then now broken back. So there you go. Got it all done.
Check.
They're checking it all that. Yeah. And they even went in the other way. So they went in this way to fix the internal bleeding, and then they went in the other way to check to make sure that it's not coming out the other way too.
Did they meet in the middle?
Wonder Pit Twin Powers activate.
Yeah, so it's like Dark Knight Rises. They like pick you up by a rope and like punch you in the back or anything to fix your back.
Yeah. So it's
nice message, race. Welcome back.
Hey Adam, thanks man. FK's here, thanks buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no more hospitals for you.
God, I've got
Well, he's got to go get checkups now.
Yes, indeed. And Alex, it's sweet to see you. Well, we got to have the squad here for Street Fighter. I mean, it was 30. It was actually like last year, really, wasn't it? At some point, but whatever.
Yeah.
So like we're a couple months late. Better late than never.
December of '94. You're all right.
Yeah, December.
Yeah, it was December 23rd.
Yeah, it was right before Christmas, so we're not that.
Giles' birthday. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, well that works out then. So yeah, I remember seeing this in the theater when it first came out. My brother Greg took me to go see it. He was always so good. So Greg, if you're watching, thank you for always taking me to see movies. It always did when we were growing up. And he took me to see Street Fighter. And I still have my Super Nintendo. I don't know if you can. It's like there, right there. That's my Super Nintendo, and I have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and everything. So I still have it. And when I went to see the film, I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Oh, that's not really what I was expecting," but okay. Which I think most people were thinking at the time. But it's funny, after watching it now, I watched it recently, and watching reading interviews with Stephen E. D'Souza, and just realizing that the movie really is a parody. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like the humor in it, and a lot of stuff I didn't get whenever I first saw it as a kid. And there's a lot of just sort of sly jokes and things like that. And I was like, oh, right, okay, I get it now because I'm a bit older and mildly less of an idiot. But I still have a lot of fun with the movie. I love JCVD as Guile, of course. Raul Julia's last movie, and he was fantastic. Just he stole the show. I mean, my favorite aspect of it. Some great songs as well. I listen to the music all the time. There's a song by Ice Cube on which I listen to.
There's a song by Deion Sanders in there too.
Yeah. There's all kinds of goodies there. So, yeah, I mean, as an adaptation, it's probably not the greatest, but I don't know. I've kind of grown to love the movie anyway over the years, despite its flaws. I'm like, you know what? I still have a good time with it. It has probably one of the best speeches ever with Van Damme. Who wants to go home and who wants to go with me? And I was like, I'll go with you anywhere. So I love Street Fighter. After 30 years, I cannot believe it's 30 years. Like, it just feels like I saw it just a couple of years ago. Like, where does the time go? So, I mean, that's what I'm going to say, because we have a full squad here. And in case you get tired or whatever, J-Man, I'm going to let you go first.
Sure.
So what were your thoughts on Street Fighter?
Well, I mean, look, I can come up with 400 reasons why this movie sucks and all the characters are wrong. I'm not going to do that because this movie came out 5 minutes before Jason became J-Man, because 5 minutes after, it just made it. Like the 5 minutes after, I'd be like, this isn't the right thing. So it came out right before I hate everything that's not accurate. So I walked out of the theater, I was like, wow, this is like really garbage. But I was like, I don't know. I kind of still liked it. I bought the toys. I bought the cassette tape soundtrack. I had the poster in my room. And then I was like, I played the arcade version, which was absolutely god-awful garbage. That was and I was like, I still kind of like it. And then everyone's like, yeah, this movie sucks. It's like, I know, but I kind of like it anyways. And it's just like, if it came out the day after, it would have been like, you know what, F this movie. That's not Ryu. That's not Ken. Street Fighter is my favorite game event of all time. I played Street Fighter 1 in the arcade, 2, Champion, Rainbow, Hyper Fighting, Turbo, Super Turbo, whatever. We played every day. We went and got a roll of quarters, $10, and Bolorama opened at 9 or 10. We were there at 10. It closed at 11 or whatever. We were there till 11. We were unbeatable. My friend Jay and I, his name's Jason, both Jasons. We were unbeatable in Street Fighter. We actually traveled. Oh, we heard there's these guys over in Brampton. Let's go to Brampton. We go.
These guys.
We would literally travel around and destroy people at street. I've never seen my friend Jay lose except to me. Sometimes, and Sean knows Jay. It's like he has never lost. He has never lost on Street Fighter. Now, of course, flash forward to today where everyone's playing it. So, but back then you had to pay money to go play it, not just play it at home. But I love the movie. Raul Julia is like so awesome. They got the moves in. It's like Honda's not even Japanese. Sumo wrestling is the only sport I watch is sumo. New tournament starting next week. That's the only sport I watch is sumo wrestling, and I love Honda. I was like, oh, it's not even like a sumo guy. I mean, sure, I guess there's not outside of Japan and Mongolia, there's not that many sumo wrestlers. Anyways, whatever. I felt like it's like they couldn't get anything right. It's like they almost like went opposites, like Ken and Ryu. It's like, shouldn't it be about Ryu? Like Street Fighter's about Ryu. But anyways, whatever. Guile's not even wearing green. I'm like, it's player 2 Guile. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is player 2 Guile. You can't even do player 1 Guile where he's green. Like, there's just so many reasons to poo-poo this thing. And that cartoon, the animated Street Fighter 2 animated film came out, which was like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.
Oh, I love that movie.
Right? And then you watch this like, man, this sucks. But I'm like, yeah, but Van Damme is so cool in it. Like, I like Kylie Minogue. It's just like this random, like, let's just get this pop singer to be this, like, it's like, that is not Cammy. Like, she can't fight for anything, right? Like, and T-Hawk is like this little guy. I'm like, why is the native, like, Hulk guy, like this little guy? Fei Long got replaced, like, because something happened. They couldn't use him, so they used that other guy, that the other Chinese guy's Fei Long. It's not Fei Long. I forgot what name they gave him. But Raul Julia is like the super master. Like, everything he says and does is the best. His costume looks awesome. He's pretty accurate, like, looking at least. Vega looks pretty good. Vega does the roll and the like, the moves are there if you're looking for them and you know them. And even some of the not special moves, but some of just the regular, like, I know I'm too nerdy for this game. Like, I know what short looks like and what forward looks like and what roundhouse looks like for each guy. Dalsum didn't do anything, but they got that famous Indian actor, and it's like he didn't really do anything. Blanca is not Charlie. They merged the Charlie character with Blanca, which is weird. Just have Charlie, like, that would have been cool with the hair and all that. Whatever, I don't know. I love this movie. I don't care. There's no rating. I'm not giving it a rating. I love this movie because I just love it. I don't care. It's short. I remember watching it like 2 or 3 times in a row. The Mortal Kombat movie is legitimately awesome. In my opinion, I think it's legitimately good, like, not in a fun, joking way like I am now. But this movie's cool. Whatever. It's awesome. It's Van Damme, man. It's Van Damme. He does the pose. He's talking to him on the screen. He comes up on that thing at the end, and he comes out with like the big. He comes out with like the. It's actually four. It's if you tap and do forward, it's that move. Yeah. It's that kick. He comes up with that kick. He does the flash kick or whatever, right? The moon kick. Yep. Yeah, like, I mean, come on. Oh man, I don't know. And then it's like boom, and he's using the Capcom control panel for.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah. The cap of the thing says Capcom. Really, that's funny. Oh, there's so many little things. I have to do a commentary. We should do a commentary and point out every little. I can't point.
We should at some point, actually. Yeah. Now, like, I have a Mandela effect thing about this. Now, maybe I remember this incorrectly, but Was it not whenever it first came out that M. Bison was called Balrog and it was the other way around, but they changed it because it was like M. Bison was Mike Tyson and there was like maybe like a legal thing or something? Yeah.
Yes. So the only real Sagat is the only real guy. The other three all have wrong names. So Vega is Bison, and Bal, like move them all over one. Like if you look at the your select screen, whatever that name is, like shift them. Like M. Bison was the boxer, right? So if you watch tournaments, and I'd still watch tournaments. If you watch Street Fighter tournaments, they still play hyper fighting. They call it boxer, claw, and general or something like that because people don't know, because there's guys in Japan who are entering these tournaments and they're going to win. Let's face the facts. But anyways, there's guys in Japan who are entering these video game tournaments, and when they lose, literally everyone just faints. But they know them as the wrong names. So in the tournament mode, they call it Claw, and then that's the Claw guy, whether you're calling him Vega or Balrog or whatever. And then the other guy is Boxer, and the other guy was like General or something like that. I don't, or Conqueror or something or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's still true now. That's still true now in Japan. The names are wrong.
Okay. Vien Damage. Over to you.
I would say Street Fighter. I mean, grew up playing the arcade game. SN. We were a Nintendo family, not Sega Genesis. So we had SNES version of it. And then the movie. I love the movie, man. I mean, I saw it Christmas Day with my mother when I was like 10 years old or whatever at the local theater. Same theater where I saw Masters of the Universe, whatever years before that. And it wasn't the game at all, but I loved it. And I think I kind of knew that going in because there was a lot of promotion. Like there was trading cards, there was that magazine. They did a lot to push this movie. And so I think I knew this was not going to be the video game, which I didn't really care, right? Because I think we've already seen Bloodsport, Lionheart. That's like Street Fighter, the movie, if you want to look at it like that. And then this was, for me, more like a G.I. Joe, James Bond movie. And I've always thought that from then till now. And so I've loved it then. I loved it now. Like, everyone's saying, you guys were saying before, sense of humor. It's got a tongue in cheek. It moves really fast. I think it's got a great cast. You've got a great, Van Damme was only available for 6 weeks. So you have all these other characters getting more screen time. I thought, Byron Mann was great as Ryu. And, it was nice to see representation. Ming-Na Wen's in there and everything like that. Mm-hmm. They've got their friggin' costumes on. They're doing the outfits. They're doing the moves. So, it is a cartoon version of Street Fighter as G.I. Joe. So I loved it in that sense. And, the whole thing where Van Damme got his biggest paycheck, great. But at the same time, I think for fans, for us, maybe I had seen Hard Target in a theater when I wasn't supposed to, but I could see this one in the theater. Like I could just go and see this one. That was kind of a big deal, right? Because it was his first PG-13 movie. So for me, man, I loved it. Still love it. I watch it probably every year just because it's so short and it's, streaming somewhere. And it's a Christmas movie-ish because it came out at Christmas time. I think like that and Sudden Death were both Christmas time movies. So you can kind of watch around that time. And then, had the poster, still have the poster and everything. And then, and then I carry this on my phone. So it's like,
yes.
Oh, so good. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, I'm a big fan of it. And so I wish, even it got like special editions, right? It got DVD special edition. It's on Blu-ray. It got released on Blu-ray again. So, like to J-Man's point, I love Mortal Kombat, the movie. I think it's a great, just legit, great film adaptation. There you go. Steelbook, yeah.
Don't worry, Charlie, you're next.
He brought it up, so it was perfect to just be like, there's special editions.
Yeah, like why doesn't Mortal Kombat have a special edition? That did really well. New Line does a lot of DVDs. Yeah. That was like
I think it's coming. I thought I heard that Mortal Kombat was announced for 4K a while back. Was it not?
Okay. Well, where was that? 1995.
Look it up, dude. Some don't get announced anymore. I can't keep up.
Well, today they announced Con Air, and I practically jumped out of my seat at work. I was like, "Oh my god, finally!"
Oh wait, here I'll give you before we go to the next person. That I'll tell you. So my Christmas break was very bookended in a funny way. Cause I heard from Van Damme on that Monday of Christmas week, and then on that Thursday on a plane, I saw Nicolas Cage. So it was a great week.
God. Well, you were safe. It's like Nicolas Cage on a plane. Oh, we're safe. This one.
He's going to show you God does exist. You'll be fine.
That's right. That's right.
Also, somebody sent me a list. I gotta give a middle finger to Collider. They did a 10 worst R-rated action movies of all time, and they had Universal Soldier on the list.
What?
Oh wow! That's one of their best movies.
That's one of the best action movies of all time. Not even.
Like, I think we should all just fight whoever wrote that article.
Let's go. Let's go to Collider. I'm down. Let's do it.
It's surprising because Collider posted about Kill 'Em All 2 coming to Netflix. Just being like, oh yeah, Van Damme's new movie's coming out. And like, we love Van Damme. And then they're gonna go.
That's because they get paid to do that though, because it's a corporate-owned site. Whereas we do it because we actually genuinely do like Van Damme.
Yeah. Well, hey, Kill 'Em All 2 was a top 5 movie on Netflix. So hey.
Yeah.
Universal Soldier. That I don't know anyone that doesn't like that movie.
No,
like
I'm
even
not friends with them, that's for sure.
people.
Good Lord, that's
just wrong. I don't know. Yeah, that's a disgrace.
That is crazy.
Yeah. What was number 1 on the list? Do you remember?
Yeah,
they had Kick-Ass 2. They had a couple of Steven Seagal movies. Yeah, so right.
Die Hard was number 1. Right? Die Hard.
Yeah. Hold on, actually, wait. I need to look because it's pissing me
off. And I read the comics. Okay, it wasn't the comics, but I still liked it. I don't know.
John, did you say Die Hard or did now? I'm
joking. So what's the number 1? What's the number 1?
They already said Universal Soldier. What's the worst that could happen?
I almost believed it though. That's the problem. Terminator 2. Maybe Owen read the title wrong. It was the best R-rated action movie. But that which is possible.
Please.
Oh, hey Jay, did you read the Viz comics for Street Fighter and like the Malibu comics back in the Yes, I did. Yes, I had some of those. I don't have any of them now. And I did, and it's funny because you said G.I. Joe, because all the Street Fighter toys for that were the G.I. Joe O-ring, the O-ring guys. I was like, it's exaccly G.I. Joe. And I had some of those. Yeah.
The vehicles were all repurposed G.I. Joe. So they had like the what was it called? Oh God, my mind.
You got to ask our buddy Renee. He would tell you.
Like the Jeep and everything, the Vamp or whatever.
Yeah. They recolored them with the
Dragonfly.
The Dragonfly.
Okay, they did the Dragonfly. Yeah. I think they had one like that was made for the Street Fighter, like the big tank looking one. Yeah. Chun-Li came with a vehicle. Because that's how got like the different colors. She was a red one with the vehicle, but yeah. Oh, I had all those
colors. It's the pink Chun-Li. It's the blue guy. Why is everyone player 2 in that?
Yeah.
I think that goes back to also just kind of as we get older, we learn more about movies. You don't realize that was kind of a minor miracle that I even got done, right? Because they filmed that pretty late, and then Capcom went out in December, so that's why you had like reused GI Joes, and they had to make their push and stuff. And so it's not like they had a bunch. And you had a director who had just done TV. I think he, famous writer, but I think had done like a couple episodes of TV. He's got this giant cast in Australia and Thailand, and so for all those things put together, this is a totally comprehensible movie, and like it works for what it is, So
it looks good too. Like it still looks pretty good. Like I watched it again, 2 nights ago, and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of color. It feels like there's like lots of cool things going on. Like each guy that talks is a guy. It's like, oh shit, it's freaking Sagan. He's right there. He's like, oh, it's right there. Yeah, that's cool.
There's no wasted characters. Like it has to be part of. I guess Capcom had like final say in a lot of stuff. So if something was going to go on screen, Capcom had to be like yes or no. That don't do it. So that's why it was a push hard for the toys and the game, and like they went all in.
Did you find it on? The Caesar was saying he wanted like 7 characters. Like, no, you got to do 14. You know what I mean? It's like okay,
that's a lot.
I mean, DJ and stuff is in there.
Just to interrupt, so I've got the list here, right?
Oh, let's do it.
So number 10, Kick-Ass 2. Right?
False.
Number 9, Death Race with Jason Statham. That movie's fucking awesome.
Fuck off.
I love that.
Awesome.
Well,
who's this?
What?
Oh, wait.
Wait, you just said 10 worst action movies, like 10 worst action movies of a certain kind.
10 worst R-rated action movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I could say something here, but I won't. I'll just say Kelsey Barish.
Kelsey Barish.
What?
I don't know.
I don't read Collider, so I don't know.
No. I never read this. Corey sent me this list, and he's like, "Do you notice anything on this list?" And I was like, "Right, okay." So Kick-Ass 2, Death Race. The Prince, 2014, wasn't that Bruce Willis?
Oh, that's with Jason Patrick and Bruce Willis.
Yeah. So The Last Days of American Crime.
That's a good direct-to-video movie. Does that really count for that kind of list?
Yeah. That's the thing that like The Last Days of American Crime. I haven't seen that.
No.
That's a direct.
Universal Soldier at number 6.
Yeah, that's an effing disgrace.
Yeah. Attack Force, and I was like, yeah, fine, that's terrible. Steven Seagal. The Foreigner, Steven Seagal. I was like, yeah, that's also terrible.
Okay.
Then Craven the Hunter.
No way. It can't. It's a bit. It's not. It can't be the worst.
It's not the worst. No. Then American Siege from 2021, which is another Bruce Willis film. Wow, way to kick somebody while you're down.
Right?
Wow, what a piece of shit. and then number 1, Contract to Kill, a Steven Seagal movie.
These guidelines are just not. This does not
No.
make any sense as a list.
No.
So
I mean, they should have
Yeah.
just done the worst Steven
They're
Seagal movies and made a list out of all.
They're like
of those.
Universal Soldier at every direct-to-video Seagal ever made.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've watched all those Seagal movies. There's this one scene where Seagal actually does something. It's like usually he does nothing in any. It's like he doesn't even walk in his own. Even I can walk, broken back, and I can still walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the Asylum movies at on that
Like,
list?
how did Black
Yeah.
Dawn
that
not
way.
make it on there? You could tell it's not even Seagal in the fight scenes in that movie. It's
Yeah.
so blatant. They were just like, we're not going to cover it up. We're just going to, we're not even going to try.
Which is
It's
one where he does a fight scene when he's in the chair.
Yes, I saw it. I don't remember the name.
I don't remember which one. They're all the same.
I
Anyway, let's
did.
get
I
back
did a
onto-
week of Steven Seagal where I watched fucking all of them, baby. And I was like, my wife was like, I can't. She despises his face. She can't.
He's like, I can't do it anymore.
I can't see this
That-
person anymore.
That's like David J. Moore. He goes to see every direct-to-video movie that gets like a 1 theater release because it has a star in it. And I'm like,
He
dude, that's
drives
just
like 2
punishment.
hours. I
Yeah,
know.
that's just
It's like,
punishment
God
to
bless
yourself,
you.
man.
Holy
You
cow,
know,
yeah.
but if that's what you like to do, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich is.
Roland Emmerich, yeah.
Anyway, so Charlie, Street Fighter.
Me. Dude, unfortunately I didn't get to go see this in theaters because it was a December release, and with my sister's birthday being in December, Christmas, we weren't getting an extra day to go see Street Fighter. Plus, my dad's like, "You already saw Mortal Kombat. I took you to see that." So
Right, it's the same movie. That's the parent. I love the parent.
that's the parent logic right
Parent
there.
thing,
You already
yeah.
saw one video game. That's all you get this year.
All the same.
You're not
So
saying
this-
Nintendo. I don't have a Nintendo. I have a Genesis. No, everything's Nintendo.
You should
Yeah,
be-
I had-
this
I had
this
old
one has
Nintendo.
machine guns. This one
Yeah.
didn't have machine guns. This one has machine guns.
I jumped from Nintendo to PlayStation. That was my generational gap. I never got the ones in between. But no, this came out on VHS. This was an immediate rent. I probably rented this thing, I don't know, half a dozen times. Had the G.I. Joe style action figures. Yeah, we have Street Fighter at home. That's exactly it. But I also had the Mortal Kombat, so I could literally make Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter fight each other with the G.I. Joe action figures.
Yeah.
And then watching this movie, Duvian, you nailed it, man. This is like a G.I. Joe movie with Street Fighter names. Like even Bison's henchmen look like Python Patrol Cobra.
No,
Run
yeah, I thought
same
that too.
fucking
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
The AN are the color of Slaughter's Marauders. So I'm like, well, fuck, this is just a really nice stylized G.I. Joe movie. I wonder if we'll ever get one. Still waiting, guys. I did show my steelbook, but I saved the best part of my steelbook was it comes with bison bucks.
Which
Yes.
should be legal currency, as I was saying the other day. Like, never mind.
Absolutely, man. This was an immediate buy once I figured out there was bison bucks in it.
Give America a month. We'll probably be using that for our currency.
It'll have Trump's face on it. It'll be Trump.
we have to go to war
Welcome to
with
the
you.
Gulf
Sorry,
of
guys.
America, everybody. Congratulations.
Nah,
that's
John. Exactly. It's gonna be some stupid fucking Doge or some dumb shit. That's what
it'll just be called Trump. It won't be that
Yeah.
clever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, they're not
Yeah,
gonna
no.
do that. Clever. But no, I've never had hate for this movie at all. Kind of like what Duvian said. I knew what I was getting into. I didn't need it to be exactly like the game because it's a fighting tournament game. I'd rather just watch this. This is just, they're going on a mission. I like it. You're going to have Van Damme in it. Guile has to be the main guy, not Ryu or however the fuck you're supposed to say his name.
Ryu.
I don't know.
I always said Ryu, but then watching it, I was like, oh, wait, it's Ryu. I was like, oh, no.
It's
actually,
both ways.
Yeah.
It's both ways, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause I think in Japanese it's actually more like Ru. And we watch the Japanese cartoons, so I was like Ru.
Yeah.
It's
But I love it's this non-stop action. I love when the DVD started PG-13 for non-stop martial art action. And I'm like, you ain't lying. This movie never fucking slows down. You have about 2 minutes of exposition, fight. 2 minutes of exposition, fight. And it's just stupid fun. I love the toy gun scene with Ken and Ryu whenever, they're showing them all the weapons that they were supposed to be black market buying and they get hit with all those yellow fucking balls. I still laugh my ass off at that.
Right.
Watching Bison get revived, I'm like, we need to get J-Man one of those outfits.
Yes, I gotta get the Bison suit. I wrote down the designer. They said at the beginning, designer of Bison suit. It's like, I'm gonna contact you.
I love it.
Maybe they could do a green one because I want the player 2 version.
I do player 2, man. But I also am watching it again today. I just realized how funny the movie is outside of it. If you pay attention to, there's a radio host during all the Shadow Lu stuff that is doing basically Good Morning Vietnam. But then when you go to Bison's base, the computer is talking shit the entire time. Like shit starts blowing up at the end. Estimated time for repairs, 17 days.
Yeah. It was 18 months.
It kept getting longer and longer. And I was just, I love the boat. That boat was badass. Always reminded me of Tropic Thunder with the camouflage taking off. I don't know, man. I have zero negatives to say about this movie, but this movie is strictly an entertainment movie. Yes, it's bad, but I don't give a shit. Just like J-Man said, I will just watch it for the pure smile it puts on my face. And, whatever happened with Van Damme and stuff like that during it, whatever, he still does a hell of a job with what we got. Everybody else, I love. I never cared that, E Honda was Samoan and not, Japanese or Chinese or what the hell everyone else was supposed to be. It wasn't until like a couple years ago I realized that was Thunderhawk. That's all bandaged up at the beginning, and he kind of shows up later.
And he's like, what's with the headband? It's like, that's literally like, that's where those cheap action movie dialogue where it's like, you have to make an excuse as to why he's now T-Hawk. It's like, why are you wearing that headband? It's my native tradition or something. So you should have bought 3 for good luck or whatever. It's like, okay, so you weren't wearing that before because they didn't think you should be T-Hawk. Now they're like, maybe we can throw T-Hawk in here quickly. And
Capcom went, we need more T-Hawk. Put him in the movie.
Nobody knows it's him. The natives wear headbands, you idiot.
Oh shit. How about feathers? Too far. No feathers.
It's too far. Don't do the feathers.
Chung Li, good God, Ming Na Wen. She
still looks good now. She's like, I don't know how old she is. She looks good.
Still looks great in this, but in the Chung Li outfits when she's doing the circus gymnastic looking thing, good God, gorgeous. And yeah, it has 2 of the greatest speeches, as Giles when he rallies the troop, and then the fucking Tuesday speech. To this day, so the most quoted and most recognizable speech.
All the time.
It's a Tuesday, man. In my head canon, I like to think that maybe he did remember that day and remembered it was a Tuesday. And that was just like his little dig, like, I do remember it, but I'm just going to play it down a little bit. But it was a Tuesday at least. But that's me. I know we got a lot of others want to talk here, but I love this fucking movie.
There's actually 2, but okay. So, Sean, welcome back.
Yeah, so in the 90s, whenever they made an adaptation of something, even in the 80s, you knew that you're going to be in for some sort of misshapen, bizarro version of what you love, right? And this is no exception. I mean, this and Super Mario Brothers, and it's a minor miracle that we got Mortal Kombat the way it looked. I mean, it was the game, so I feel like this movie is more Street Fighter than Super Mario Brothers is Super Mario Brothers, because the characters are still there. They all have like day jobs in this movie, but they're still there. Like Dalsim's a doctor, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like he's like a spiritual leader.
When they made the arcade game, they didn't even have Dalsim in it, so that sucked. But
in the movie version they didn't.
In the movie arcade, which is basically Mortal Kombat Street Fighter version, but yeah.
So that is cool. You get to play digitized Van Damme though.
I was trying to find a digitized Van Damme.
That's cool. Ming Na Wen did the thing. I think they made fun of that on one of these talk shows, like I don't know if it was like Kimmel or someone where she does a dance in the game, but she had to do that in real life. And they showed it. They showed it in the show.
Oh, the mocap, the motion capture.
Yeah, the mocap thing. Yeah. I thought this was cool at the time because I feel like it was more a commercial for the Hasbro toys, which were awesome. Like the big play set they had and all the big vehicles and stuff, and they all came with it. It was wicked. And anything O-ring is awesome.
Yes.
But, I knew that it was not going to be like Street Fighter. I remember reading, I think it was Cinescape or something like that, where, who's the director of D'Souza, right?
D'Souza.
Yeah,
writer of Die Hard.
He was saying, like, well, I'm not going to make a movie where, you see an arcade. Yeah, it's awesome. you see an arcade machine, and then Guile jumps out and says, "Hey kids, these are my adventures." It's like, well, no one's asking for that. We just want a tournament movie. I mean, there are tournament films, right? But he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like Star Wars." Like, okay, well, I'd like it to be like Street Fighter, but that's okay. But yeah, no, it looks like a Hasbro commercial. It looks really cool, colorful. The characters are there. They kind of look like the characters, as J-Man says. Like, you know, Chun-Li has the red. You know, it's like why, but yeah, I love Vega. I like the actor they got for Vega. There's that one scene where they introduce him. He's great. He's really hamming it up. It's awesome. But yeah, no, this was like the big mainstreaming of Street Fighter, right? You had the toys, you had that arcade game, you know, and of course the cartoons are coming out and everything. And it was quickly becoming not Street Fighter anymore. And they had like scads and scads of like different kinds of like this alpha and all that. Everyone just wanted 4, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I never understood that. Just give us fucking 4. I don't need all these other different words tagged onto the
I know.
game.
You know.
So
I played all those, but what they changed the format of the way the game kind of worked, and Street Fighter 3 is the worst. But then
I've never played any of the other ones. I've only ever played Street Fighter 2, and then like the various versions like Turbo and whatever, and then
those are all good.
Played anything else? Yeah.
Did they not make a virtual fighter type of game too, or no?
Street Fighter,
that?
Yeah, 3 is more. 3 is more. Street Fighter 3 is more like what you're thinking, Sean. Like,
yeah, it's like
like a weirder. It's not
looking graphics and all that stuff. Yeah,
but even the new ones like 6 or whatever are still going back to the normal 2D. Like 4 Ultra, 4, 5, 6 are all good. One is not really great.
2D is the game. Like that's. I mean, I think they lost track of why people like the game because the strategy of like owning the stakes.
You own that. It's like when Mortal Kombat tried to do that, where you fought and it was like in 3-dimension.
That was cool.
I hated that.
No, nobody likes that.
God, that was terrible.
And there's like an RPG version with like Sub-Zero running around. You're like,
I remember that.
Yeah, I was like,
like it's fine. Like I like Sub-Zero, but I'm just gonna play. If I want an RPG, I'll play an RPG. Like I don't understand. Like
I want to fight. If you want to make the animations 3-dimensional and turn the camera, totally fine. But 2D space fighting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Also, Sean, good call back to Cinescape. So what a time for movie magazines and Starlog and everything.
Oh yeah, those Wizard, Toy Fair, all those like always on the newsstand.
Cinema Fantastique and Film Facts. I still read that. But
Soul Calibur, I had that for the PlayStation. That was awesome. I remember
that was a fun Cervantes. I always play that Cervantes.
Yeah. All right, Johnny.
Oh boy. So let me first proceed by saying that I had the 2-disc special edition DVD and I went looking for it and it's gone and I'm pissed off. So I had to watch it on some freebie thing with commercials.
Why didn't you? I put it in the library, buddy.
I know. Well, you know what? I've been working 80 hours, so it's like
you always check the library, man.
That's right. But it was a Blu-ray, but it was a nice version with all the special features and everything. And I have no idea what happened to it. Don't move, just because shit gets lost. It's like I've lost like 4 movies since then. But right. All right, so I watched the movie for the first time in the theaters, and I was like. Because I love the anime. Like, I'm not really big into anime, but I love Street Fighter anime, and I love the series that they did. The movie with the rock music, I love that one. Like with the hardcore music, that's awesome and everything. And then I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, it ended, and I walked out of the theater. I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. It was like one of those kind of things. It's like I think I liked it. I'm like, because there's, it was like Charlie was saying, like it was like talk, fight, and it's like machine guns. Like it's like you got explosions, you got Van Damme doing all of his signature moves and everything. And I love the part where he flexes and you see the American flag and his muscles like going up.
Fucking love that.
But and then I went to go see it again, and I'm like. this might be the greatest bad movie ever made. I'm like, they did it. Here's the reason why, because they knew what they like. Stephen E. D'Souza hadn't directed a movie before. He wrote some great movies, but they're like, you know what? We couldn't get all these great directors that we wanted, so let's get this guy to direct his first movie. And boy, was he up against the mountain with this one. Like, there were so many problems with this one. Like, because of Raul Julia, you know, they had to film like the scenes, like, because normally they film like the talking scenes and then they do the action so that way everybody can practice it. They had to flip flop that. Like, Van Damme was coming up with moves that day, like when they were doing fight scenes and stuff like that. And plus, with all the problems he was having with the drugs and everything, that man's a professional. I don't care what anybody says, because even with all this shit he was going through, he's still like, you can't tell on screen. He, like, God bless him, you know, and then he's, you know, that he's gotten better and everything. But Raul Julia, what can you say about him? The cape flipping, you know, he flips the cape and he's like, and I love the fact that he made up the, I guess you didn't see that, did you? He made that line up. That was awesome. Totally improv. I'm like, that's the best thing ever. And like, you shouldn't like this movie, but if you're us, like the people on this panel, this is like our wheelhouse. We're just like this. And if you watch Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, that's a bad Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, that's a bad movie.
I actually did not mind that movie. I was surprised that I thought that was okay. Like that. Like,
you've been asked to leave now.
Same thing. It's not.
I still own it.
Was Chris
I have it on DVD. What do you want? I bought it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
But was Chris Klein trying to act like that on purpose? Because that is the worst acting performance I've ever seen from an actor. I can't watch it because of that. He is horrible in every single minute he is in that film. Kristen Stewart looks great. Neil McDonough, you know, does his thing. But like, compared to that, this is an awesome movie, because they're like, and it's G.I. Joe, it's James Bond, it's science fiction, it's you know, it's got everything all meshed in. Would I have liked a tournament movie like Sean? Of course, you know, because I was all into the anime and everything. But I was like, you know what? If you're not going to do a tournament movie, then make it into G.I. Joe. It's like, because I'm a G.I. Joe fan too. You know, you got Van Damme doing his Braveheart speech, and I watched the making of this the other day, and I cried because they were talking about Raul Julia, and he wanted to make this movie for his kids because they were Street Fighter fans, and he knew he was dying, and he Shakespeare'd the shit out of it for them.
It's glorious.
But it's glorious. Yeah, he's like, you know what? I know this movie isn't like what I've done in the past. It's not Kiss of the Spider Woman, you know. It's like, but it's like, oh, how can you not love him in this movie? And like, knowing that, it's like, that's what a great father. I'm like, I hope I'm that good of a father, you know, because just for him to do that and like to act the shit out of it, and like every scene he's in, he takes over. I mean, he's the best. He's another, you know, he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this for my kids, and I'm just going to do the best job I can. The fighting's awesome. Like I said, at the end, I love when he's coming up and he's zooming at Guile, and Guile does his helicopter kick and you know, it's just, what's not to love, man? And then I got a funny story for you, though. I went out and bought the Sega Saturn, and I got the Street Fighter game right after seeing this fucking movie, right? And Sega Saturn lasted a day, and I was pissed off. Boy, was I pissed off.
That was a flash in the pan console.
Oh my God.
You know, it's not. It wasn't
Jaguar.
that bad of. It wasn't that bad. It had good.
It was a good system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a good system. It had good capabilities and stuff. Yeah.
And I played
Doom
the
on
shit
it.
out of that video game, and then like it died, and I haven't done another video game console since. I'm like, nope, not gonna do it. I was like, it just turned me off the video. But
actually,
I love
Sega
that game.
Saturn had the best. That may have had the best port of whatever Street Fighter it was, like Super or whatever. That I'm trying to remember. My buddy's like a big time console guy. And he was like, I think that had the best port. Like if you look at exactly like move to move or whatever, Sega Saturn, whatever Street Fighter game it was that was out when that came out.
Yeah, Adam brought up the 3DO. I remember that being praised for having one of the best ports of Street Fighter 2. I can't remember which part 2 it was.
Yeah, so 3DO, my buddy Jay had that, and that had the Rob Zombie. Way of the Warrior, which had all of the white. Well, I don't know if it was Rob Zombie or White, or if he was still part of White Zombie at the time.
He was
but
still White Zombie at the time.
Still at the White Zombie at the time. Yeah, but I remember thinking, "Oh shit!" I was like, "The music's great." It was like Dreamcast. My buddy had My friend Jay has had every console there ever.
I think there's a YouTube thing out there where they compare like all the versions of the Street Fighter depending on the console, like down to like how
That's all I do.
smooth it.
Like, believe it or not, that's what I do in my spare time. Whenever I'm not like writing about action movies, I subscribe to all these retro video game channels, whenever. And it was actually Sean introduced us to Bastish B, that big like 8-hour documentary he did about of arcades. I've watched all of that, and then he did one on like Sega Genesis and the history and all that. And if I can't sleep, I stick that on, and I'm just going to sit up all night and like, right, Bastish, you're going to entertain me.
I just watched the 6-hour, 22-minute deposition of Billy Mitchell. I just can't get enough.
I've been watching the highlights. The guy he's getting ready to sue. He's trying to sue right now. Carl Jobs. I watched like his highlights.
You watch those? Yeah. I watched all of it. I'm like,
I watched that at your house, didn't I?
I showed that to you, correct? Yeah, I saw that. I've seen the King of Kong probably 75 times. Like, I'm not even joking. I've probably memorized the movie.
It's so really good. Yeah,
I love it. Saw it in the theater. I love it.
Yeah, I get hooked on catching those cheater speedrunners and shit.
Carl Jobs is hello, you absolute legends. Yeah,
I fucking love that.
I've watched all of his. Have you seen? There's a Russian guy that copied all of his videos and that's the best thing I've ever heard of. The guy just copied his videos in Russian. I'm like, okay. Anyways.
There's like a 3-hour doc on Tubi about Street Fighter. Oh, well, I have to watch it.
I've probably seen it.
There's actually one I think of. Isn't there a doc? Even isn't there a doc on Van Damme on Tubi?
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it's less than an hour.
Yeah, it was one that it come out I think in France last year. So they basically kind of got redubbed and then put in America. So it's a good one. I think this one has Mohammed or Michelle Kesey a lot talks. So
yeah, he talks a lot about the relationship, and it's interesting to hear about what they did and went through and everything. Starting out and everything.
Cool.
That's on Tubi? I'll check it out.
Tubi's the best streaming channel. I don't care what anybody says. Tubi's the best. It's all the best movies. It's like Z-grade action movies. Hell yeah, sign me up. Although I don't know if anybody saw. I watched Radical Jack over the weekend. I know John, you'll have seen it. Radical Jack with Billy Ray Cyrus.
I saw it. You did that on Facebook. I was like, oh my god! I would love to talk about it.
I mean, Billy Ray Cyrus, Van Damme, and Hard Target. Who can tell?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And what'd you say? Oh, you were like, remember the time Billy Ray Cyrus tried to be an action star?
Yeah. But then I said his mullet deserves a spin-off called was it Business at the Front, Part in the Back?
I'd watch it.
I mean, hey, they try to make Justin Timberlake an action hero, so it's like anyone can get that shot.
Well, they try to make everybody an action hero.
Oh, I like Time. What was that movie? Was it called Time?
In Time?
I liked In Time.
Is that the one where the time's the currency?
Yeah. Your life is your time.
I like the premise of that one. It was okay. It was watchable.
Cillian Murphy's in it.
Well, I just watched one where it was what was it called? Anonymous, where it's like what's the shoot 'em up. What's the guy's name?
Oh, Clive Owen.
Not Clive Owen. So it's Clive Owen and the girl from In Time, Amanda Seyfried. I thought that was kind of a cool movie too, where everyone's eyes are everything is recorded. So if someone commits murder, they just literally rewind the guy, and the guy sees the murder. But then people are hacking it and making it look like it's someone else, or the guy's disappearing. And Clive Owen's investigating these murders where the killer literally they can't see the killer. So the cops are like, we can't see him. What do we do? It's like, you got to fucking solve the case like a normal cop, right? And so that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, for a future stream, we should do Shoot 'em Up, because I've never actually done a write up for it. I got it on Blu-ray in a pack recently, so
I saw that in the theater.
So did I.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should give it.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's kind of a love letter to like the old-fashioned action movies,
and
everything. Yeah. Clive Owen's basically Bugs Bunny in it, or something.
Yeah, no, but you know what though? When there's a movie in it, like this Penguin series had a thing, this movie had a thing. The guy's driving. He's like, "Look, this guy's not signaling. Look, the signal's right here. All you gotta do is click it." And the guy I was like, "Yes, I agree with you." I'm like, "I'm with you in this movie, buddy."
Can you take a hype on something? Yeah.
Like when they get angry about something that pisses me off, too, like, yes.
Yeah. It's 1 inch. Move your finger. 1 inch.
1 inch. Yeah. He's like, look, you just do it like this. Like, that's it.
Paul Giamatti and that thing is amazing bad guy. Oh, good Lord.
He's always great.
And there's weird milk things in it too.
Yeah, that's a little odd. That's a little odd.
You gotta have some fetish stuff in there. Just make it good.
We haven't talked. I mean, we talked a little bit about how the casting is a little bit off, and I forgot to say it on my turn. But the best casting aside from Raul Julia is fucking Zangief, man.
Oh, he is awesome.
Love
Andrew Briniarski. Yeah.
Fuck
my god,
I love Zangief. That kaiju fight between him and E Honda, when they turn the television on, maybe there's important information we need, and it's literally got the music playing from a
Or he's fighting Honda, and the Japanese are watching. They're making Godzilla noises.
They're looking at each other like,
don't take itself seriously at all. And I think because we're a more cynical generation now, the world is more cynical. I think people appreciate it more and understand what they were doing. It's a movie that didn't get quite appreciated at the time, but over years, people are like, oh no, I get what he was doing here.
Yeah. I love when Guile is shot by Ken, and then he's dead, and then Chun-Li is like, oh, someone's breaking the signal. Let me check it out. So she goes to infiltrate the base. And then she sees Guile laying there dead, and then he gets up. It's like, why is he still laying there? Like he's been laying there this entire time, waiting for her to come discover him, so he could be like, "Haha, I'm not dead."
It felt like an hour passed, and he's still laying there.
He fell asleep.
There's news reports and stuff, and it's like Guile. It's like Colonel Guile is dead. Oh my god! And it's like, why have you been laying there? I love that kind of stuff.
He was selling it. He was like, you know what?
He was really selling it. That was Andy Kaufman in wrestling when he called the ambulance. They didn't need one. He just called the ambulance anyways. It's just for the show. It's all for the show.
Well, they try to arrest her. She takes off running out of the building. They're like, wow, what a maniac or something. And then Guile pokes his head out. What a woman.
What a woman. This is not about your personal vendetta. It's about mine. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. It's about mine. Oh, shit.
Some great lines in here, man. I don't care. This is a quotable movie, too, with people that understand what the hell you're talking about.
But Raul Julia, while Chun-Li is telling the story, he's like, he's like getting his slippers and shit.
He puts his robe on and he takes his hat and makes the drink. Yeah.
The drink.
Love it.
And he thinks that at the conclusion of that story, he thinks it was positive because he's like, I know the day that I graced your village, it's like you thought it was the greatest day. It's like,
that's a great line. Quick, change the channel.
Change the channel.
Yes.
This is naturally done. If that was scripted, that's brilliant script writing because to connect a sight gag to a line is difficult, right? Like on set, you don't know how that's going to play out, but the guys looking at the screen, they're looking, oh shit, there's cars. Oh, no, it's coming. Oh my God, that's going to be right there. Change the channel.
It's a Spaceballs joke almost.
It's a Spaceballs joke.
Well, I love this. After he did his speech and everybody gets all riled up and they're all going into the vehicles and everything, the guys run after. He's like, Guile, tell these men to come back. Tell them to stop. He's like, I would, but some moron just canned me. He's like, and he runs into his. I mean, I love it. It's just like
there's literally no reason whatsoever for that to even happen. That entire scene was literally concocted so that Van Damme could say the speech because there's no reason. They go, we want to stop all of a sudden and pay. When in the history of anything has someone said, yeah, let's just pay $20 billion or whatever?
20 billion. Billion with a B.
Really?
It's
like that will never happen. It literally, I'm sitting here watching it now, and I didn't think of it before. I was like, this would never happen. I'm like, well, it's happening because Van Damme needs to say, what's going to stop him from asking for 50 billion? And then it goes, it's like,
or 100 billion.
Freedom and
100.
But we can go home. It's like, meanwhile, pieces of shit like Bison can do this, but we can go home. There's one guy thinking, shit, I'm going home.
I can go home.
The one guy
he's like,
he didn't all go, and then he cut to that one guy.
I convinced some of them to not go or whatever, and there's like the one guy
who's Edward R. Pressman, the producer, is the chef.
Oh my God, I know that's so good.
Oh, there, nice bit of trivia there.
That is so funny.
I love that, man.
That was the tidbit. I think I told you guys the tidbit that Van Damme shared with me was basically in the 90s. Was it him, Edward R. Pressman, and Oliver Stone were looking to do an Alexander the Great movie, but John Lewis was doing one at the same time, and so that kind of just destroyed their project.
Yeah, that turned out really well.
I like that Alexander movie.
I've never seen it.
Everyone hates it. Yeah. I've seen all three cuts of it, and I liked all three cuts. The final cut is fine. I even thought the theatrical people were confused because they didn't understand that 400 BC is like later, like you count backwards.
Yeah.
So like So if you say 400 BC and they say 350 BC, that's 50 years later. They're like, what's going on? Why is this?
They're thinking like the timeline's fucked up or something. Is that the
Right.
one with, like,
that was a
Colin
Tarantino
Farrell in that, or
well, it is a Tarantino. It goes back and forth. It shows Alexander for it depends which cut you watch, but if you watch the final cut or
what's the best one? The best cut?
Just watch whatever he said was the final one. Is what I just? That's the only one on Blu-ray, anyways. But that one does go back, but they just say 50 years later or 50 years earlier. People were upset because of him and Hephaestion's relationship, but they were, best friends and, probably lovers. They were just in like together. It's a great relationship. I don't know. I like that movie a lot. I think that both those actors are awesome in it. Colin Farrell and, what's the guy's name? Who played the other guy who plays Joker, right? What's his name?
Jared Leto.
I think it's Jared Leto is the guy. Jared Leto. Yeah, I thought he was great. I'm gonna check to make sure.
I don't want to see him as Skeletor though. He's not who I see as Skeletor.
Well, that whole movie's a write-off for me.
Yeah.
Did you read about the latest on that? Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, I'm like Alan Richardson is He-Man. I'm sorry. It's like
our version's going to be a little different. Why?
Why do they keep fucking doing that?
He's like a regular guy, like with an office job, and he finds out he's Prince Adam. I'm like,
so it's like the Matrix.
Why can't we just be on Eternia? Just put it on fucking Eternia. Done with it.
This rumor circulated last year, so I guess it recirculated now, and everyone's shocked. But like, I knew this was going to happen. So.
We've known it's happening because this happens for the last 15 years. That they always talk about a He-Man, and then it falls apart. Then a He-Man, then it falls apart. But
I'll say this: look.
Netflix
He-Man was big when we were kids, and it was based on focus groups of the kids at that time. Yeah. And I love He-Man, but like I don't know why you would make a movie now. You're not going to use any of the brand equity or any of the recognizability of it.
If you're not going to make it for me, if you're not going to make it for me, who are you making it for?
There is no need.
Kids don't care about He-Man.
Yeah.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed and bought all the toys of that CGI version.
Yeah.
My wife and I watched all 3 seasons. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I felt it was the spirit of He-Man of sharing the power, empowering kids to feel strong, and how
the CGI Netflix one,
the CGI Netflix one, where Duncan says, "I have the power," and becomes Man at Arms. Teela becomes Sorceress. Crass becomes Ram Man, and it all comes through He-Man's powers, of course. And Skeletor upgrades his minions, right? So he upgrades. What's his name, to Beastman, to Trapjaw, so he can upgrade with using negative energy by upgrading those guys. That was a cool cartoon, but it did not capture enough. It did not capture enough of an audience to warrant a new He-Man for this new audience that this cartoon would have captured. It didn't capture that audience. My nephew liked it a little bit for a time. I bought some of the toys. He lost interest, went to Power Rangers. That's done now, so I don't know where he's going to go to now.
Kids aren't watching these shows.
They're not watching them.
Because She-Ra ran for 5 seasons on Netflix, and I had friends.
5.
So that one did well. That was not He-Man though. It was like a separate
She-Ra, yes. And that one didn't connect to that was a whole new She-Ra. But I heard I didn't watch that, but I heard that was quite good. Yeah. So again, did it capture enough of the girl audience to warrant a She-Ra cartoon aimed at that audience? That's what I'm not sure. Charlie, what you just said, Sean. A He-Man movie made right now needs to be for this guy right here, J-Man, which is my He-Man. My logo's the J instead of the H. It's like it should be made for me.
Wall of He-Man.
Wall of He-Man toys.
To me, right there. And
my closet is full of He-Man where it's falling out. Not counting the guys that are out of the packaging. The ones in the packaging can't even fit anymore.
Yeah,
I think with that one, because Masters Universe is it's a great cartoon. It's just really goofy, right? And so basically to make that movie, you couldn't make that movie like with a straight face. And so they keep trying to make it into Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, which is fine. But like you're saying, like you have who is the audience, and like someone who's just going to go see a big action sci-fi epic and then have some allusions to Motu and stuff like that, or the cartoon. You know what I mean? But
which is what we got with we had with the live action. That's basically what we got with that, which was fine.
Yeah. Do we really need one now? I mean, have one in the 80s whenever the cartoon was fresh and the toys were hot and everything, and everyone's buying.
Right.
But nobody's buying the toys now or watching now. I mean, I watch the cartoon. See, anytime I'm sick, all the He-Man episodes are on YouTube. I stick on a marathon of He-Man episodes, and I feel better after.
Yep. I got them all on DVD. It's a comfort show for me. I just sit there and I enjoy watching them. But there's a part, the kid in me goes, yes, I'd love to see something new with He-Man. But the reality of it is, it's never going to be the He-Man I remembered. It's never.
They could do the
He-Man
2000, like real
200X.
Do 200X. That's it. Do that then.
Would have been great. But if you don't include the 4 Horsemen in that with some of the designs and shit like that, you're going to fuck that up.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was
it's
a
just,
There's a script about 15 years ago. It used to float around the internet called Grayskull. It was pretty cool. It was it was pared down, but he encountered 3 of the characters on his journey. It's a little different. Like it's like Lion King. He's in the jungle somewhere, and then he slowly realizes that he's.
Oh, so it's like Savage He-Man, sort of like, sort of comic bookish, sort of mini comics, but like
something.
I like that too. I like the mini comics version.
Sure. Yeah, but they're not doing that anyway. This is the other.
They don't know what that is.
They don't know what that is, so that's like a non-point, right? Like, oh, okay, it's like
I was gonna say, back to Street Fighter. I think, and it's probably true, I think that this movie is the best G.I. Joe movie we have, because it's better than those other G.I. Joe films, but it's got all these troopers and all these great like vehicles and all that stuff, and they're fighting bad guy troopers that look very distinctive, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The thing is, which is the problem, is that everybody feels that they have to reimagine and like overcomplicate everything. And I'm like, I watched a G.I. Joe cartoon on YouTube the other day, and I was like, why has nobody done a proper version of this? It's right there. It's there. Just do what they're doing. You got great characters and everything, and the motivations and all that stuff. And I was like, you could easily do it. You got a great diverse cast from all over the world and everything in it, and awesome characters. Yeah, I mean, there's more. We all love Snake Eyes, but there's more great characters than Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's diverse, but it's super diverse already. Like the thing with G.I. Joe is that it already checks your diversity. It's like, we need more diversity. Okay, how about G.I. Joe? Like, I got the Spirit figure right there. I got friggin' ninjas over there. You've got tons of
Scarlet, you got CoverGirl, you got
you got the women. Yeah, I don't understand. It's so easy. And then
Roadblock, Alpine,
right?
Doc,
Iceberg.
all those. I mean, I
loved Iceberg, man.
Great character. Great character.
My favorite character was it Shockwave, the SWAT character?
Oh, the SWAT guy, yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome in terms of my figure. Yeah, and Heat Viper as well was cool.
Yeah, like all the Vipers look good.
Yeah.
Like every friggin' Viper looked pumped up. Doesn't matter what it was, they looked cool. Like Alley Viper was insane. Like the bats, you could have the battle android troopers, whatever. Like there's so many things you could do. G.I. Joe's so easy. It's there you go. Yeah. G.I. Joe is disgustingly easy.
Man. Get Road Pig.
Yeah.
I feel like with that.
Oh my God. There's someone out there bought Road Pig. Wow, that's great.
Fucking love Road Pig.
I got Torch. I'm Torch. I got
Torch is over there. Buzzer. And
I like Buzzer. He's
up there.
Torch was my first G.I. Joe toy.
I got Big Boa.
Big Boa's good, yeah. I had Big Boa.
What else I got? I got Hiss Tank. Got a Fang. Fucking love this shit, man. This is what I grew up with.
Sheldon Lettich got hired to do a G.I. Joe movie. He wrote a couple of drafts, and I'm always kind of like in his ear, like, hey, man, where's that draft at? Let me read that.
Take G.I. Joe the movie and live action it. Dude, like, if Disney can fucking do it with all their shit, take G.I. Joe the movie, live action it. Take Transformers the movie, live action it. There you go. They're 2 blockbusters. I'll go watch them right now and be done with it.
I don't know. They made Transformers 1. It was awesome, and no one watched it. So.
Yeah, Transformers 1.
They marketed it wrong. That when those trailers were coming out, I was like, this is like for my 8-year-olds.
It looked like it was made for babies. I was like, I watched it, like, the faces and everything. I was like, oh.
And until I heard you guys praising it, I'm like, I honestly was like, I don't ever want to watch it. Now I've heard it's like one of the best Transformer adaptations out there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it the time now. But
there's so many
on the studio.
The Ninja Turtles, that one where they're all actual teenagers, where they're all like angsty and stuff like that. And that was a good flick and different vibe for the Ninja Turtles. So I think they're trying to do that with Transformers, but it just wasn't as successful, right? So
which is terrible, because that Transformers 1, I watched it again with my wife, and she loved it. And she doesn't know anything about Transformers, but that's not a great thing. So I don't know anything, but I loved it. But it took so many different things, because Sean and I now been covering all this on my channel, going through like what's G1. There's comic continuity completely different than cartoon continuity. Then you start getting into Headmasters, which contradicts Rebirth. Then you start getting into what's the next one we're doing? Master Force, Super God Master Force, which is now like expanding it even more. Cybertron's destroyed. Mars is destroyed. Optimus Prime is resurrected and killed again. It's like Scorponok is the leader now. Then it's like so many things have flip flop. They're Transformers G1, like that isn't anything. So this movie had Quintessons, and it had the Primes in it, and it had the relationship between Megatron and Pax. It's like it crammed everything into it to start a brand new continuity, and it was on Cybertron. It was just about the Transformers, no human characters. Each Transformer was distinct. Nice. G1 designs. It's like literally everything that people complain about. Why can't it just be about the Transformers? This one is. Why can't it just be on Cybertron? It is. Why can't it be the G1 designs? It is. Why can't there be actual characters and personalities? It is. Did you watch it? Oh, I didn't watch it. Okay, so then I don't know what do you want. And I understand it looked like a kitty. It looked like a kitty thing. Yeah, it's like it looked like a kitty thing, but.
Can I just say, it's really nice to have you back, J-Man.
Yes.
It's like you never left.
I can see Owen watching him. All of us just like, that's our J-Man right there.
I got him talking, and I just sit here, and I'm just.
It was amazing. It was like he's back.
It's color commentary. Netflix has all of the WWE stuff on it.
Oh God!
Which now makes Netflix the greatest thing that's ever happened in humanity. Like I went right to WrestleMania 1. I watched the Wrestling Classic, which is the second pay-per-view. I'm going in order and watching the whole damn thing. Hulkamania starting up. It's getting good. Oh man,
you're the only one. Yeah,
am I the only one? Are you guys crazy?
He's starting at the beginning when it was great, and then he's going to get to 2024 when it falls on his face.
The ladies wrestling. The women's division is like super fire, man. Like ever since like you got your Becky Lynch's and your Charlotte Flairs and all that, like it's and NXT has like all the women are good.
And Rhea's going nuts right now.
Sorry?
Rhea. Loving her on that.
Yep.
Anyway, just real pop. You're saying need more Sheldon Lettich movies, and I was like, well, funny you should say that because that's next week's show. We're talking Rambo 3. Is it underrated? That's what we will discuss.
Well, it's 10 out of 10. So if someone's saying it's not 10 out of 10, then they're underrating it.
Then we will fight them. But yeah, I watched it last week, and I got them all on 4K, and I was like, this is one of the best quality 4Ks I've ever seen. It looked like it came out this week. The quality was amazing.
So good.
I just wanted to.
You mean underrated as in like underrated because it didn't perform, or underrated as a movie? People
because people hate it. Like there's a lot of people who think it's like the worst of the series and whatever, and like they're not my friends. But
Rambo 3, the worst one compared to Rambo 5.
Really.
There are no bad Rambo movies. I love them all.
There's some political stuff that hurt Rambo 3.
Yeah, there's the point. But
I did notice that. At that little
when
tag
it was made, that was a different time. Okay,
but you know what? Even if we made up with Russia, I still love them mowing everybody down in that movie.
Well, I mean, you got that, and then the
anyway, shut the fuck up. We're talking about it next.
I don't know what you're talking about now. You brought up Rambo.
Yeah, you brought up.
That's your fault. You shut the fuck up.
You know you can't dangle the steak in front of us, and we'll just be like, okay, we're not.
All right, let's calm everybody down. Everybody calm down.
Where's the other one? Where's my car washer? You need my car washer. There we go.
Is everybody calm now?
I guess speaking from Rambo and then back to Guile, how do we feel about Van Damme's accent in this movie?
He's still something. It's
rough, like in all of his other earlier. There's a lot of scenes where you're just like, what? I don't think you kind of go back a little bit, but it's Van Damme. Who cares? It's like I don't care. It's like
Van Damme literally shaped our entire lives as kids.
Oh my God.
The second Van Damme had the earring in Hard Target, J-Man earring. Let's do it. Mom was like, "Why do you need an earring?" I'm like, "Because Van Damme has an earring, and if you don't have one, you're a loser." So it's like anything Van Damme. I tried to do the accent like Van Damme. Went to martial arts. Oh, Van Damme's. Oh, got to get into something.
Listen, I was pissed I couldn't grow a mullet like he did in Hard Target.
I really attempted. It was pretty good. I had a solid mullet, but it was never like full. I was never happy with it. So.
I didn't get those jeans, so yeah.
But his entire outfit from Hard Target is the outfit we used to make movies as kids. That entire outfit is my outfit in the whatever the next movie was. And every Van Damme movie that came out, the poster came down, the next poster came up. Whatever the next one was, I don't care what it was. So like his accent's the best. Everything's
His
the best.
to sum up his accent, the best part of Hard Target is when he picks up the arrow and there's the hole in it. He's like, bango. He's supposed to be saying bingo. It's like,
well, it's like because in Street Fighter, I think he's trying to do less of a French accent, but he just kind of like low like growls. You know,
Yeah.
so I think that's how he tries to cover his accent. So
It's
always a reason
perfect.
for it in his movies. It's like, where are you from? Quebec.
that's the thing. So we're talking about that because Arnold,
I'm
you never
French.
explain his accent. Van Damme, every movie you have to explain his accent, except
Yeah.
for like even Sudden Death, where he's American, but he's just like he's from Quebec, right? But
Yeah.
Street Fighter, they don't say anything. But everything else, yeah, he's French.
Yeah,
he's just-
Arnie's just like, I'm
Yeah,
from New
you're
York.
right.
New York.
Yeah.
Can't you tell from my accent here?
They had to tattoo the American flag on his arm just so all the kids knew, oh, it's American. Okay,
Yeah,
go America.
So
No,
an
it's-
answer to Jimmy, Mark for Death is the week after next. So Rambo 3 next week, then Mark for Death the week after. So
Oh man, Mark for Death, so good.
Is
I
that
I
what
can't
Screwface?
wait.
Hmm?
Yes.
Don't get me riled up again. I was going to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know. So anyway,
What-
just so if anybody has been on Facebook, and you'll see that I've been arsing around with the times of this live stream this week because it's always at 8 o'clock. Then it was like, oh, it has to go to 7 o'clock, and then it was to 8 o'clock. So there was actually a reason for it. The guys know, but you guys don't. So I was actually on Zoom with Donnie Yen, and we were talking about his new film, The Prosecutor. So keep an eye out on theactionleak.com tomorrow. I will post the interview then, and I'm trying to see if I can actually upload the video if I'm allowed to do that, because I don't normally do that because I hate seeing myself on video. But I'm like, well, here I am. But so if you're interested, if you want me to upload videos in the future of interviews, I can do that if you'd like to see them. So Donnie Yen is my first interview of 2024, and then I got 2 interviews tomorrow. I'm interviewing.
My first interview is the director of Alarum.
Same here. That's tomorrow night. Yeah, 6:30. And then I'm interviewing Emily something or other for this awesome movie I watched the other day called Survive. And it's a French movie, and I watched the trailer to it. And it's like this family who are out at sea, and there's like a storm, and then they all get knocked unconscious, but then they wake up and they're on dry land, and like the polar. Like the north, the poles have shifted, so the sea has moved. So basically, most of the world has been like wiped out, and there's just like a select few people, and it gets like violent as fuck. There's like it's like in chase, but it's like a lone psychopath with a harpoon, and like you're just like, what the hell? That sounds crazy, but it was actually a really good movie. So it's out this week called Survive. So
Was that with Sophie Turner?
No.
Oh.
It's Emily something or other. She plays the character of Julie, who's the mother in it, and she's like a total badass female character. So yeah, so that was good. But yeah, talking to Donnie Yen was cool. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. And there's some interesting potential interviews coming up, but I don't want to say anything because then they don't happen, and then they look like a lying asshole. So I'll be like, okay, we'll just see. So
Wait, when you said, was that like on a Zoom, or where'd you talk with Donnie Yen?
it was Zoom. Yeah, we talked. He's got a new movie called The Prosecutor, which he wrote and directed. And I watched it. It's actually one of his best films for a few years.
I watched it today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? That's one of his better ones because he's done the Iceman and everything.
It's like Law and Order meets Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got like courtroom scenes and then fight scenes.
I know.
okay.
It's like
So I really liked it, but something different. But yeah, so that was cool. And it's probably the most nervous I've ever been before an interview. Normally, I'm like, that's fine, whatever. But I was like,
Owen, are you like me? Like if I when I was interviewing Dolph Lundgren, I was like, were you like, what am I going to ask him? Like, did you have like?
Well, I always have questions written in front of me. Like I always write out the question.
No, I mean coming up with the questions though, because he's been interviewed a million times.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
I always try and come up with things which are different, but for this one, I was told to only ask like questions because they mentioned like language barrier, and I was like, he speaks better English than I do.
Hey, he lives in Boston.
Yeah. I was like, do you know your client? But it was a great interview. It's only like 8 minutes long because that's how long we got. But I was like, hey, it's 8 minutes more
So
than
you spent 7 minutes on Highlander Endgame and then 1 minute on the Prosecutor?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Or Blade 2.
Yeah. And on to the Prosecutor. We're out of time. Well, goodbye.
How about Dr. Way in the Scripture with no words? That was done.
Shanghai Affair.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I think that was
our circus kids.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah. Just go really obscure. But yeah, no, I mean, I never thought I'd get to like interview him. I mean, I met him in person a few years ago in Toronto when he was filming Triple X. But then to actually like interview him, I've been wanting to do that for years. So that was awesome. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to chat with them. So yeah, stay tuned tomorrow. I'll write it out, and then if I'm allowed to, I'll upload the video to YouTube as well, so you can see me stumbling over words like a fucking moron. Anyway, so thank you guys. Welcome back, Sean, and welcome back, J-Man and Eugene. It's great to have the family all together again.
Yep.
I guess if anyone has Amazon Prime France, Van Damme's new movie The Gardener comes out on Friday. So
Jay might have that in his collection at some point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll check my library for that.
Yeah, good idea, and see, because I would love to check that out. So
sure.
Yeah, you've been keep us up to date. Any chats you have with Van Damme? Like, you've been pals with him. Like, they like hang out.
He's in Thailand. Happy New Year. So.
Oh, really? Well, okay. Is he filming something, or is he just on holiday?
He's on holiday. Yeah, I think he did some press for The Gardener, and then he took off to Thailand. So.
And yet nobody asked me to do press for them. What the fuck? Like, why is this so hard? I mean, come on. We're in your hat, JC. Come on.
That's true.
We're not to the level of Collider, man. I don't
know.
No,
I know.
But you know, the thing is, like, if you Google Jean-Claude Van Damme's name on our websites, or there's like 8,000 articles on our website. If you go to Collider and do the same thing, there's like,
this movie sucks.
Yeah.
Universal Film All 2 or Universal Soldier sucks.
R-rated movies.
Yeah. But like, I don't even go to websites like Collider. I never go to the corporate-owned websites.
Yeah.
I use like Deadline or THR for like news.
Yes.
You know, they're the ones that like matter in terms of news. But anything else is just owned by corporations or studios. So I'm like, fuck them. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
We're not owned by anybody, just me. So
that's right.
As it shall be unless someone pays me like $1 million, then like, yeah, sure, I'll shill for whatever you like. I have no scruples whatsoever.
Nope.
All right, guys. Anyway, thank you. So join us next week for Rambo 3. Literally just an excuse to talk about Rambo 3 because it's awesome. And remember, if you are watching, you are the action lead.